Brad and I spent our 47th anniversary paddle trip on the Namakagon and St. Croix River. We started at the McDowell Bridge Landing and we paddled up to the confluence of the Namakagon and the St. Croix rivers. And from there we went on the St. Croix River past Yellow River Landing and Thayer's Landing and past Norway Point Landing all the way to Nelson's Landing. In the past, Brad would do a bike shuttle, but this was going to be a 48-mile trip, and so we used Pardun's. It was great. We started on Friday, May 22nd, and we came out on the following Wednesday afternoon. Spent Thursday unpacking and making videos. This video will talk about the clothing we took and what was in our life jackets. Go.
This is my PDF. Water filter, water holder. Life preserver, my warm wool sweatshirt that I never had to use, fortunately. It's rainproof. My hoodie, my merino wool hoodie that I wore a lot. Shorts, I didn't wear those at all. This is my towel. Warm day pants, cold day pants. 1, 2, 3 shirts that I interchanged. This was mostly a sleeping shirt. This one is wool. Bandana. 3 pair of wool socks. This one was my sleeping socks. 3 pair of underwear. Sleeping cotton hoodie, sleeping shorts, sleeping silk long johns. This is what I carry. These 2 things is what I carried all this in. These were my water shoes. I wore them while paddling. These are my land shoes. I never got them wet. And I wore my hat.
Haha, yeah. All right. Thank you, honey. Okay, so what I packed was a small towel, and then I have a cooler cloth and my kayaking gloves, which I really like having, and my 100% wool hat. I have a bandana that I wore pretty much every day. This shirt I wore every day. It's long sleeve and protects my arms and my neck and everything from the sun. And if I get too hot, I just get it wet. And then I have a short sleeve t-shirt and a long sleeve merino wool, which is a nice layer if it's cold out. I really think I only wore it for sleeping. 3 pairs of wool socks, a pair of merino wool lightweight socks for sleeping. This is my tank top for sleeping, merino wool long underwear for sleeping, and underwear and a bra. My pants that I wore every day. These are my heavier weight pants that I wore for around camp, that I brought to wear for around camp, and I think I only wore them one day. This is a merino wool hoodie, icebreaker hoodie. This is my bug jacket, and I do have a ball cap in this one to be able to wear with the hood of the bug net. So, but we never wore it. The bugs never bothered us enough. And then I do have a windbreaker jacket, which I wore a couple of times. And then a merino wool hat, which I kept with me in a little fanny pack. Another bandana, which I never pulled it out, but I would still take it again. This is my Hydro Pack water bottle, and I have a bee-free filter for it in my fanny pack. And my Clean Canteen water bottle that sat right with me in the boat and hooked on, so nothing in my kayak was loose, and except me. And then I took along these shoes for camp, dry shoes, but I never needed them. Maybe once I wore them. But otherwise, I find these Astral water shoes super comfortable. So if they're not wet, I just keep them on at camp. And then I have the 3 bags. So I keep the shoes that I'm not wearing in a bag, and that keeps the dirt from getting all over everything. And then I have my, this bag carries my shoes, my bug jacket, and a couple other things that I don't ever plan on using and just have along just in case. And then my clothes all fit in this compression bag. So that's it for my gear, not including my fanny pack, which will be a separate video. Okay, so there's our water bottles, my raincoat and Brad's raincoat, and the bag we carried it in, his life jacket with a couple of safety things in his pockets, my life jacket with a lot of safety things, my gloves, and my hat. His clothes are in these 2 bags, and my clothes and shoes are in these 2 bags. That has to work in order to fit everything into the kayak. For canoe camping, we usually fit everything into these stuff sacks. My fanny pack, which I also have this small waterproof fanny pack that I carry a few things in, like fire gear, and I keep it handy to put my phone in when we go over the rapids. And I'll show the whole contents of the fanny pack in a different video. Our water shoes, and then we each had a pair of dry shoes. So that's our gear. So Brad's life jacket, he had sunscreen, a pocket knife, a whistle, and some gloves. I probably will think about adding a couple of things. This is a new life jacket for him, and so we didn't really fully load out the pockets, but there might be a couple of things that we should add in that just stay in there all the time for whenever we paddle. And then his compass is in with his map that he keeps connected to the boat. Okay, so my life jacket, I really like this. It's a kayaking life jacket. It has 4 pockets, and then the whistle I can slip up into this pocket if I want to, and then the knife I slide into this pocket. I think that this is a knife holder. I never learned that, so if you have ideas about that, let me know, because I'm not fond of this situation. I just think it's dangerous, probably, and I don't like it, and I want to look into this idea. And then my kayaking gloves, and I also, in one of the pockets, I keep these warmer gloves, which I never needed for this trip. Ended up not wearing them. And then I also have a compass in my pocket, and I keep a little bag with small ropes in this pocket as well. And I have often a snack in one of the pockets. I carry an emergency blanket in this pocket, along with my medical directive is in a little waterproof case. My ID is in there. And then I keep the sunscreen and lip balm right at the top of that pocket. And then I do have another signal mirror. I have one in my fanny pack, but I carry that signal mirror in this little bag, which I can't get in one-handed. So that's in here. And I also have a waterproof container lighter that is in my pocket. And this is the cord that I use to keep my phone attached. And then my phone slides in and out of this pocket. I have never set myself up for a GoPro camera or connecting a camera to a canoe or a kayak. I don't know, I just want to keep it simple. So I just use my phone when I can, which means you miss out on a lot of good parts. Critters and rapids, stuff like that I just can't catch because my phone is either in my pocket or in this little waterproof pouch that I wear. So I have this on me, and I have some fire starter materials in there, and my Be Free water bottle filter. I like keeping it clean. Brad just keeps his in the boat. I like to keep mine clean, so I only put it on to the bag when I need to filter the water and put it into my clean canteen. And that's for kayaking. In the past, I had a 1 liter Be Free water bottle, but it doesn't have any loops on it for connecting. And when we're kayaking, and probably canoeing, I really like having everything in my boat lashed down. If it's not in the hatch, it's connected to something. So this is the question about whether or not to keep bringing this little waterproof bag. I did use it every day. I wore it, and if we were going to be hitting some rapids, I slipped my phone in there, took it out of the life jacket pocket, and I slipped it into here. So something to think about. I carry a lot of stuff. Brad hardly has anything. In the kayak, I strap this to the underneath of my seat, and then this goes under my knees, and I have one bad knee, so this fanny pack, my leg goes over this, so my knee sits right on here, and this is right in front of me, so I can drink often and stay hydrated. Again, that's connected. So this bag is connected to the boat, and this is connected to the water bottle. So I have a little map. It's nothing fancy, just in a Ziploc bag, just a Xerox copy. And then in here is another one of these signal mirrors, which I'm thinking about putting into Brad's life vest, his PFD. I carry a selfie stick. It's extendable, but it also has the ability to be a tripod. And I use it quite a bit. I don't use the tripod every day, but I do use the selfie stick part. I have sunglasses and a little cloth for cleaning them off. I have a waterproof bag with a butane lighter, a pocket bellows, a pocket knife, a ferro rod, and one of the things that I took with me, because I really like it, is this knife that can attach onto a belt, but I just don't find myself wearing that for this type of trip. So I ended up never using this knife. Another medical directive in here, a little strap to hold my glasses on, which I never used. And that's that. Which of these things would you leave out of your bag?